Hello everybody, FrostyRandom here, and welcome back to another video. This video is the draft analysis for the KCDL, known as the King's Crown Draft League, hosted by my good friend, Jarl the King. It's got a cash prize of $100 Canadian, almost all of that going to the winner, but hey, it's a nice league, let's have some fun. And speaking of, I got second overall pick in this league, highest I've ever gotten, so let's get into my first round pick, number 2 overall, the Oxus Attack, which is offense, 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 and nothing but, and I couldn't have it any other way. This mon comes in, clicks move, kill, continues to kill if it doesn't get a special attack drop from Psycho Boost. It is insane how good this mon is offensively. With its base 180 attack stats in both and 150 in its speed. I don't really need to say much about the Oxus Attack. You probably know what it already does, as well as the fact that it has ungodly good coverage into just about everything. So let's move on to my second pick, one that I have a bit more to talk about. That being Terra Raging Bolt. And this is a mon that is extremely good defensively. It's good both defensively and offensively, actually. Because I'm Terra, I no longer have to worry about my weaknesses to Ice, and Ground, and Dragon, and Fairy, and I can Terra into a type that resists any one of those, or a type that's just neutral like Water. Just a really good defensive typing. Terra into Electric, just do really good offensively. It has Thunderclap, which is a signature move. It's Sucker Punch but special and Electric. It has Volt Switch, Stab Dracos. It has Calm Mind with the booster energy set. It has the Assault Vest potential because this just has really good moves. Discharge if I want to be annoying, which will happen. And a whole lot more to say about that. But I think we should get into our next mon. Because I got sniped by Iron Valiant, I figured it was time to really put some fear into this league by drafting a duo that got called Cancer. That duo being, well, the first member of this duo being Gliscor, an ungodly good defensive mon packed with good offenses as well, and all 3 hazards, and knockoff and stab earthquake and protect and source dance, and it's really good. You don't need me to tell you that. Everyone knows how good Gliscor is. Let's be real. Of course, it's not just a hazard bot, it never has been and never will be. Hazards are a really nice addition to it, but it does not need them every match, and will not use them every match. I have other hazard users to begin with, and I'm not going to rely on Gliscor for all 3. Anyway, going into the next mon that rounds out this cancerous duo, we have Clefable. A repeat from WPF, and a damn good one if I might add. I always love myself a bulky fairy. I got sniped by Iron Valiant as an offensive fairy, which I would have got a bulky fairy anyway. And this is a damn good bulky fairy, considering Unaware is extremely good in Uber's format, just what this league is. Not much else to add with Clefable. It's got a lot of good utility moves. It's got Wish, it's got Healing Wish, it's got Moonlight, it's got Stab Moonblast, it's got Flamethrower. It's got really good coverage because it was a Gen 1 normal type, which had really good coverage. And there's not much to say that I didn't already say back in WPF about it, but I don't need to set rain with this one. Next, let's get another really good defensive mon that can really help my matchup into a Pokemon like Zacian. Next, let's grab Skeledirge. And I know, non-Terra Skeledirge is a bit weird for an Uber's League, but I think raw Skeledirge with its Fire Ghost typing gives my team a lot of defensive prowess to help with. It's got Unaware, so that's another really good Unaware mon to use. It's honestly the best Unaware mon in Scarlet and Violet, because even beyond Clefable, because Clefable can still run Magic Guard in Scarlet and Violet. Meanwhile, Dirge is locked into Unaware, and you're still super afraid of that. Anyway, it also has stab fire moves, including its signature move Torch Song. It has the ability to Will-O-Wisp and Hex. It has Slack Off for recovery. It even has some coverage like Alluring Voice. and that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head right now. But even then, this is a really good mon that really helps my matchup into Pokemon like Zacian. Next, let's grab ourselves some priority and a really good physical breaker. That Pokemon being Slitherwing. A really good physical fighting type. A ground resist that's not weak to ice is also extremely good. It is quite weak to flying, but you don't need to worry about that much, but it can OHKO the flying types with stab first impression off a choice band with Adamant. Because it's just that good. It also has U-turn for stab bug moves, which is really good. It has stab close combat, has Earthquake and Flare Blitz for coverage, and if you want to go more defensive set, which you easily can, it has good both. You can run Will-O-Wisp and Morning Sun as well. You can also run Body Press if you want to really manipulate your physical defense stat, though that's probably better off saved for some other mons. But hey, this mon is still extremely good when under the right hands, and I think I am the right hands for this mon. Next, let's just get something to really shore up our special defense like Dirge did our physical defense. That Pokemon being Meloetta. Meloetta is a normal type, which means that it is immune to ghost moves. In a metagame with a Pokemon called Spectrier running around, this is probably a good thing to grab. There's other ghost types as well, but I like the cross with Dawn Wings, Lunala. Those are actually more threatening, to be honest. I think Dawn Wings actually isn't allowed, but still. And there's other ghost types as well, but it highlights just how useful the normal type is, and it's a really good spin death wall anywhere for Pokemon like that. Of course, it also has the Pirouette form, as well as the Aria form, which is the form I'm talking about, to be a more physical attacker with 128 base speed. Instead of 128 base special attack and special defense, it goes into speed and attack, which can be really threatening if your opponent is not prepped for it in mind, but we will probably not use this set too often, as it is very centralized within how it plays, and your form gets reset once you switch out anyway. It's a really good Assault Vest user because of just how bulky it is on the special side, and you make it even bulkier, it just gets even better. Next, let's grab a Spinner, because we need removal. This team is kind of weak to hazards, and I can run Boot Spam, but I also can't. But we also need a Ground and Poison, so let's grab both in one. And a Water, why not? Let's add Tentacruel. This is a Pokemon that I know very well. I've wanted it for 3 drafts in a row, considered it ever since MPBL, but this is a mon that I absolutely love in Scarlet and Violet ever since it came back. This is just one of the best spinners in my opinion. Only 9 points. I got it for a really good price. Ground and Poison, I can get rid of anything else. It's a bulky water with really good speed def. It's got a base 100 speed stat, which is really good for something like a fast flip turn, or even offensive with something like Swords Dance, or anything like that. And we even have like everything else you need, honestly. There's not much else you can really say. Tentacruel is just the GOAT at spinning. It also has T-Spikes. It has stab on water and poison, obviously. There's a lot more I could say, but there's a lot I don't need to say, we'll say. Next, let's grab my second favorite Pokemon of all time. Bisharp. I've wanted to use this mon for ages, ever since I started Draft. And if anyone remembers TFL, my first Pokemon Draft League ever, I used it. It was pretty good. I've used Bisharp a lot. It's my second favorite mon for a reason. And with it gaining Eevee-like this generation, but losing Knockoff, there's a bit more to offer defensively to this draft. As a good Spit Def pivot, as a good Fizz Def pivot, as long as it's not into a fighting move. And even offensively, it still has Sucker Punch, it has Throat Chop or Lash Out, depending on what you want to do. It still has Stab Iron Head. It does not get Kowtow Cleave, but I don't think it needs it when it has Throat Chop. Easy Sword Stance if you're Eviolite and you can make something switch out. Black Glasses to boost your offenses. Life Orb to boost your offenses. I would not run Choice Band though. But this is just a good mon all around, and I will hype Bisharp up forever. It's my second favorite mon, and this league has King Gambit as its mascot. I'm going to change that with Bisharp once this league ends and if I win. Next, let's get a ground resist, which would be really nice for this team, and a faster speed tier than a base 100 with Tentacruel to bridge the gap between Dio and the rest of my team. Let's grab Superior. This is not a mon you really expect, but I mean, hey, it's really good. It's got that contrary Leaf Storm spam, it's got Glare, it's got Knock, Dragon Pulse for the pesky dragons that resist your grass moves. It can do just about everything you want it to if you work within its limitations, and it has a lot of those. Because it's not Terra, it gets almost no coverage. D-Pulse is basically its only coverage. D-Pulse being Dragon Pulse. That's essentially your only coverage. You're really just spamming Leaf Storm most of the time anyway. Substitute's also a nice thing. Sub-Glare is annoying to deal with, and I've dealt with that before. Really, really annoying to deal with. And really, it's a good mon. It's only 9 points as well. Tentacruel, Bisharp, and Superior were all 9 points on the board. I took them all. So, hey, Goodwill Hunter, I guess, with that value. And last but not least, let's get a mon that can be like a secondary spinner, be immune to ground, resist ice. There's only one mon that I think you guys know where I'm going with this. That mon is Cryogonal. Cryogonal being our last Pokemon is interesting. It's a base 105, which bridges a gap between Superior and Tentacruel nicely. It's a secondary spinner along with Tentacruel. It's got a Roar Veil for the possible snow teams we'll be going against, which there is at least one, off the top of my head at the very least. And it's got Stab Freeze Drive, which is really good for some bulky waters like a Melodic, a Swampert, anything like that. It's also got Haze, so we can effectively erase all stat changes even if we're faster. Because really, there's no better way to stop a setup sweeper than if you're faster and you get rid of their setup to begin with. It's a really annoying move to deal with, but hey, I'm glad to just abuse it. And I think Cryogonal can put in a fair amount of work this league, actually. Anyway, that's the end of the draft. That's all 11 mons. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening, as a matter of fact. I am FrostyRandom, coach of your Tuscaloosa Toxic Chains, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.